Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I am providing you with 5 reasons why your application for unclaimed funds may be denied. Now, up until this point, I've shown you my successes. I've shown you things approved by my students, but there are on occasion where you may face a denial. It's not the end of the world, but you have to make sure that you're understanding why it was denied. And if you're a student of mine, you will see that when you're researching, you may come across cases that are denied. And usually it's very simple. Sometimes it's a long, drawn out reason, because some judges will just give you the case search and the legal reason why they came up with that conclusion. Sometimes it'll just be a one-liner. It really just depends on the district. So keep in mind that I am not an attorney. This information is not indicated as legal advice. These are the reasons that I think are the most common. The first one being that they don't have the right to the funds. So maybe it's the wrong party that was reached out to. I have seen a case where the creditor tried to go after the funds. It was denied because the funds are only for the debtor. I have seen where the debtor went after the funds and it was denied because the creditor was supposed to get the funds back. And, you have to make sure as a locator that you're reaching out to the right party. Those cases were pretty old, so I'm thinking that maybe a locator probably reached out to them thinking that that was the right party, and that prompted that individual or the company or whatever to try to go after the funds, but they didn't have all the information. So you always want to make sure that you're reaching out to the right party. That's one way to get for sure. If you're the wrong person, it will get denied. Another reason also is when you're dealing with deceased claims, if the family member is not an actual heir or a person that has the executive authority or personal representative of the estate, and that document has not been filed in with probate, it will be denied. So again, wrong party, or that party did not establish true ownership. You may see that language a lot in some of the orders. Number 2 and number 5 are kind of go hand in hand. Having wrong documents or having incomplete documents, that will basically be you'll be notified by the clerk when that happens. Usually they will call you if it's something really easy that you can fix. Maybe you'll get an email, but most of the time, more often than not, you probably will get a deficiency notice. Just make sure that you cure it before the date. If you don't, and you don't get what you need done, you don't file everything in, it will be denied. And if it's just based on documents, that why is the reason why it was denied, you can go and try again. If the client is slow, number 3, the client is slow in getting you the things back, or you yourself are really slow with completing the tasks. Maybe you have everything that you need, but maybe it's like a notary or something. You forgot to get something notarized and you just don't want to do it again. That's going to make your application for sure be denied. So make sure that you're quick with doing these things when you're missing documents, or if they're incomplete, make sure that you try to get it done as soon as you can, or it will just be denied and you have to try again. If you don't attend a hearing, that is one way for sure that it will be denied. So hearings are not usually needed for most districts, but on occasion it may happen. Like Massachusetts, for example, I had 3 cases pending at one time, and I had a hearing. It was all before the same judge, and it was just on a phone. And basically, she had a different interpretation of the contract that I was using and wanted me to change it. And that's really all that it was. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like I was in trouble. It's not like going to the principal's office. She didn't even care about my percentages at all. It was just, hey, I have an issue with the document that you use for the contract. Do you mind changing it? That was it, really. And I did that, and it was approved. So don't be afraid of the hearing. If I did not go to the hearing, it would for sure be dismissed or be denied. And I do remember being on that phone call waiting, because it's a queue. You could hear other people talking. And I remember the judge calling a case and saying, hey, up to the, this hearing is for blah, blah, blah. And nobody said, present, Your Honor, I'm here. And then she just said, oh, we're going to issue a denial for this one, and they can try again, because no one appeared. And even my student who is in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, she's had 2 cases that was approved, and they had hearings because that district requires it. She went. If she didn't go, it was going to be for sure be denied. So So make sure you go to your hearings because that is necessary. Having, again, incomplete documents or wrong documents, we spoke about that earlier. You have to make sure that you submit the proper ones. The good thing about this process is you're usually going to know what's going on. The court is not going to leave you in the dark. It's going to be approved or it's going to be denied. And if it's denied, they're going to tell you why. And so you can always fix it. Now, you have to be careful with the wording of it. With prejudice, final ruling means if you see that with prejudice, that means you can't try again. That means the judge said what they said, and you're not able to overrule it or try to go again. Now, I remember one case specifically, and this was because it was a weird reason. She tried to go after the application for unclaimed funds. The judge said no, that these funds are only going to be used for a future bankruptcy filing. So I think something was wrong with her creditors, perhaps. Maybe she was one of those repeated filers that would file every few years. And maybe the type of debt that she was getting, it was like really deceitful or something. Maybe she was getting loans and like at a certain period of time and then she would file bankruptcy. Like, I don't know. But the judge did not allow her to have her funds back. And he said, if you file again, we're going to use these funds for that. So no one else could apply for those unclaimed funds. And in that order, it said with prejudice. So you can't like try and file again. Without prejudice, if you see that on your application, it was denied. That means you can try again. And usually that is something is missing. The person, you got the right person, and you almost had all the documents, but maybe you forgot to get something notarized, or you forgot an ID, or something very simple it could be. So just make sure that you're not panicking. Make sure you do notify your client in case you do get something denied. Make sure you're aware of the language. Again, with prejudice, you can't try again because there's something wrong with the funds, or the judge is saying you can't have it. Without prejudice, that means that you can try again. Something was missing, go for it again. All right, so don't be all up in arms if you do get a denial. You can try again. Just make sure that you notify your client and say, hey, you have to give me these documents because we're going to do this again. And hopefully that will work for you. I will see you in the next video. If you have any questions, please email me pertaining to denials, or if you see a case that it was denied and you're not sure how to read the order, I can help you. Again, my email address is springsolutionsllc@gmail.com, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.